you're almost okay.
All right. So I'm going to kind of talk about, what I did. I've been working on GCD, or Grand Central Dispatch. And so I guess the best way to look at this is like to look at and you're just like, you call 911, you're not talking to the actual person that's going to come to the scene and help you. There's someone that decides, oh, we need this many policemen, or we need this fireman, And so that's what GCD is. And so it's basically a way to thread your application, because you just say, hey, this, and then you're like, I will, and then it figures out what it needs to do. And so right here, just to kind of start, I have this simple example. So I just have these two labels and these two buttons, and the first label is just going to display the result after it counts, and then this one's a label change. And so then if we go right here, let me comment this out right now. So we'll start right here, and I'll show you kind of a bad example of how you don't want your application. So right here, I have these buttons are linked up to these two functions. One is it changes this label right here, so it just does a random value, a random string from this array and replaces that label. And then the other one, it updates, it counts through 90 million, I think, and then it displays the result on the screen. Okay?
Wow.
So, and I did that just so to kind of show how you can lock up the screen. So
90 million.
And so right here, so we have our little application.
I like your loader.
I know. I added it in. Pretty proud of myself. So, I can kind of show you. So right now, see, I can change the label. It randomly selects one and changes it. But as soon as it begins the counter, it locks up the screen, and I can't do anything anymore.
Oh, that's horrible.
So,
how long does it take to count to 90 million?
It seems like it's pretty quick usually. So I don't know. It kind of depends.
Should have it counting in the background.
Yeah, I was going to, but then I kept having problems with what I was trying to, because I was trying to display it counting.
Oh, but I guess it's locked up. Huh?
But the problem was it would do that. See, and so it updated, and then it did all my label changes right after it applied. So yeah, and the problem, I was just having problems, and everything I kept trying, it was doing it. It was threading for me, examples I was looking at. I was like, that's not what I want. I want to break it. So we're back to changing the label. So then we kind of moved down. So I'm going to comment this out, and then so this is using GCD. So right here, this is a working example. And so that's making an asynchronous thread right there. And then so we create the global queue, okay? And so there's kind of different queues. There's a global queue and there's the main queue. And the main queue is the UI thread. So anything that happens in the UI, you want to do in the main queue. Otherwise, you want to do in the global queue. And this will happen in the background, okay? And so then right here, I set the priority to default. So you can set the priority, you can set it to high, so this needs to run first, or low, or whatever.
I don't have numbers.
I think, and then you can set a number within the priority.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
So it's just a regular thing, and then I have this closure right here, and it's just it's just gonna it's not named, and then it's just gonna do this result. So then right here, so what it's gonna do is it's gonna do the same thing. We're gonna count to, I think, 900 million this time. Okay. And then we have we assign our index to our end value. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another synchronous. I'm going to dispatch that value back to a different thread. So this one I'm dispatching back to the main thread, the UI thread. And so right here, I'm going to call that label right here, and then I'm going to put the end value. And I also have, it updates this label hello from the UI thread when it happens, okay? So then I'm going to show you how this works now with that. So we have our, our app here. Okay, I can change the label before, but when I begin the counter, it's counting and it's working, but I can still change the label.
Oh, that was way faster that time.
It works way faster. So yeah, so I need even more value. So, but then there's this is cool right here, is you can actually kind of write your closures. Cool. So instead of having this, we have our curly brace and a parenthesis, and I'm sure we've seen that a lot in programming. If you did programming a lot, you kind of see that. But in Swift, you can write it like this. So this is the exact same, function. It's doing the exact same thing, except for you can end the curly brace and then pass the closure afterwards. So it's like, so instead of passing it in as one of the parameters, Swift will just recognize.
Oh, that is just supposed to be there.
Yeah, that's supposed to be there. So
weird.
So yeah, I know it's kind of weird, but it's kind of cool. Right?
Do you know if there's a performance difference between those two?
I don't know. I think it's just more for readability. So it's like you're not trying to match up.
Yeah, it seems to make more sense.
Yeah, see, because it's like, oh, this ends there. This ends here, and it's like this can kind of get a little messy and confusing at times. So I think it's just for readability purposes. But
that's interesting.
I'm not sure. I'm not positive that. Try and look in that, but I can show you it works just the same. Change the label, begin the counter, change the label, it still works. So it seems like it's just as fast. So that's kind of all I have. I've been trying to work on getting an example of doing things synchronously, which is my understanding is like it won't update unless both values are like complete. So, but I don't have a working example yet. So that's kind of what I have. So
cool.
I know you guys have any questions. Cool. Yeah. So.
Yeah, this looks. I really like this GCD approach. It's nice that it's built in. You don't even have to import anything. You don't import anything. You just call the function.
I just call
that priority thing, and it'll just run in the background.
Yeah.
That seems way easier than stupid Android and having to set the handlers and.
See, and I'm not sure about NSQ operations, if you have to import things or not. I haven't got that far, but I'm hoping next Tuesday I'd have that all done, wrapped up.
That looks awesome to me.
Yeah. So, all right.
That's fun.